Okay, good morning. Sure, coming nice and clear, and everyone can hear me. Thanks again for always joining me for Sunday Sword. Okay, um, sure you guys get your sword ready, all set. Have water on the side, hot tea. Okay, and I hope our internet's working fine for everybody. Where is my? All right. Last week we focused on lifting and sinking with the sword. And let me know if you're getting any value of just the techniques. In a small area, it's easier to practice in the techniques. Forms, you can do drills and certain things in a smaller area. Forms, depending on the style, let's see what I can do. I might have to do a separate video because some of the forms are more big, and especially the 7 star Buddha really likes to sweep. Yeah, so it's gonna be a little bit aggressive in the home. If you're in a big area, then it's not bad, right? The Tai Chi sword set can be big and small at the same time because of the techniques can you can always hold back or do it in small areas. It's just the form it walks and it starts to move. So the walking space changes. So the if I stayed in the middle, then I walk, it keeps going off frame. And I don't know if that was gonna um, be clear if I keep setting back to the center. Yeah. So I can also show the more the my other set that shows the techniques and you don't have to move around as much. You already did one already, so that one works a lot, and hopefully that gives you a lot of um, practice. So I know it helps me a lot too. Yeah. So when we're doing all the other set, we can pinpoint our areas and practice in a smaller area too. Yeah. Okay. You can hear me. It's nice to hear kids playing though. When you're passing by. Um. Okay. We did lifting, sinking. Oh yeah. The the technique I really want to focus on today was more the drawbacks and pulling back. So even though we do our form and we're setting up, the drawback is like um, sometimes you might not think about it, and it's just like you're cutting or it looks like this. Okay, so the drawback becomes a intention. Okay, the intention of drawing back. Okay? So it's like a pull back motion. Okay, and you're gonna see this a lot. Okay, if I go like this is you drawing back. Yeah? See it? Drawing back, drawing back, drawing back. Okay, even if I sink the wrist, if I add the intention, draw, the see that pull back motion. Okay, the key thing is the technique in the subtleness of the techniques too. Yeah. Okay? So if I come in and slice, and I'm gonna draw back, so I'm pulling. So a lot of the intention on the drawback is here, all this front part. It could be almost the whole thing too, but it's the point of the edge. Okay. So I will show you a chikun that we can do with this too, yeah. But just think of the edge over here. So even if I go like this, and then it looks like I'm pulling back and I'm slicing, but the drawback is the motion and the intention to pull back. So draw back. Okay. So say like we're focusing on the cutting and slicing. Okay. And then we're adding the sword and we draw back. So we pull. Okay. And then we go forward. And we're gonna do the uh earth blade. Yeah. Earth blade, earth blade. Okay. So that's down, yeah. And out. Okay. My hand is circling like this. Okay. So we can still practice our yin and yang, our flowing of the circle. Okay. Our drawback a lot of time with the stance is a sit back position. Okay. And as you go forward, you go forward. But a lot of drawbacks, energy is pulling. You're going to either have a sit back, you can have a slide, but the intention is still to draw and add and enhance the technique of the drawback. Okay. So even if I go up, okay. So you notice the movement, and I'm going to sit back. Okay. Boom. Okay. So let's do the upper part first, since I'm on it right now. Up. Okay. So even if we do the regular technique of the drawback, okay. Now I want to enhance the technique by really putting the intention of up and the blade and the stance here. You really so inhale, okay, and then 4, inhale and 4. So we're still using the earth blade, okay. So downwards, and then you face it up, face the earth blade up and 4. Okay. So that's how it looks when I'm going close. Up, inhale, forward, exhale. Okay, up and 4. Okay, so inhale and 4. Okay. So we're gonna practice both sides. The other side, inhale and 4. Up and 4. Up and 4. Okay. So the blade itself is not necessarily like this. You keeping your blade, the sword at the angle, yeah. Okay. So even though if it's cutting, we're trying to keep the form of the sword, so it's ready to it's set up to protect. So we're not trying to keep this, see this open, and then if I go like this, then it's already at an angle, so this is protecting. So even though you're zoom, things can change, you don't know, yeah. So that's why it's not wow, yeah, it's zoom. Okay. So now you get this blade and the protection is still here, so I can easily adjust. Okay, that's just a example, yeah. So up, and same as I draw up this way. Okay. So again, can you see or see the feedback? Like, see the drawback? Boom. Okay. So it's applied to a lot of techniques, yeah. Okay. So that's the upper part. And as we sit back, we inhale and 4 back, and forward. Okay. So I feel like it's a lively morning. So now let's do the bottom, or I should say middle. Okay. So even if I draw back here, okay, let's see if I can show it. I'm gonna show the sword like this. See that? You're not going into the stomach now. Go off to the side. Okay. Now I want you to turn the waist and then go forward. Okay. So back, turn, forward. Okay. So you're adding that waist now. Back. Okay. So it's gonna look like you're going. Shoo. Okay. That's the motion is the chop, and you go wow. Okay. That's the chopping. Yeah. The intention of the drawback is it's sliding, so it still can apply and then okay, but that's the difference of the chop and then the drawback. Okay, I think I need to come close to this. I can see the sword better. See this? Yeah. In, out. Okay. Back, in, out. Okay. So sword fingers. Inhale. Inhale. And out. Exhale. Yeah. Okay. So you can feel that. Now we can reverse this side. In, out. Draw back. Okay. So you're sitting back when you're pulling back, and then forward and out. Okay. So you're using this as a chikun. Okay. This is a sort. When you do it slow and you're taking your time, you're breathing, you're finding the foundation of the techniques. Yeah. Okay. So everything we do doesn't matter how slow. Okay. The slower we go, the faster we can really make it come out better. Yeah. Okay. But if you don't go slow, I can't find if I feel off balance or if my technique feels off. Okay. But when I can do it slow, I can feel everything. Okay. You can feel all the movements. Boom. Okay. So this all adds up. As you grow more and more, the technique can move. Okay. So it can really adjust. Okay. The circle can draw. And if you need to, you can really move off and depending on the area or what's coming at you. Okay. This can be important as later on when we start touching, if you end up in the class and then you end up doing the it's like push hands, but you're doing with swords and that kind of thing. So it's sword sensitivity training that you start adding to the sword. That's when you start going, oh yeah, it's like I'm understanding the motion and the feeling of the momentum of the blade moving and flowing. Yeah, so all that's coming here. Yeah. But again, the intention of the drawback is to draw. See that sliding and pull? Yeah. So even the most simplest thing of a thrust and then I pull back. Okay. So if I think of just going like this, because I'm drawing back like here. But the intention of the drawback Okay, can add this whole different dimension. If I'm using as a cut, then the drawback, see that from outside, you might just look like I have my sword out, so I'm getting my sword up and setting up. Okay. But the intention of the drawback is the technique as it's drawing back. So if I cut or a block or redirect, that drawback is the swoop. Okay. So hopefully that really helps opening up the techniques a lot more for you. Okay. So it doesn't matter. Even if I go like this, and I think of, I might go straight to the chop. But that drawback is that. Okay. Again, it's a intention, and I can easily extend, and then from here, I might draw back up, I might draw back down before I go into the other technique. Okay. So you can take it if you felt like you was missing something, that can be part of it. Yeah? It's that drawback technique. And if you start to notice all the subtleness of the techniques of the drawback to lifting and lifting and the sinking techniques, starting to apply and strengthen the technique a lot more. Yeah. The turning and the circular movement of the wrist. Okay. So even now, if I show you this, see, you can see, or you should be more aware of, there's way more techniques behind the one technique. Yeah. There's more details there. Okay. So what's happening is I drawing back. I understand the wrist now. I'm rolling. I'm lifting chi. Okay. I'm rolling it back down. I'm sinking the chi. I'm using the down. See that? And then I'm going forward. And then I can lift and lift the chi. Okay. Is that a lot? So the drawback and adding the lifting, okay, sinking. Okay. So you're pulling out one subtleness layer in the technique, I guess, to really share and enhance the technique more. Yeah. So before maybe you just go like this, but now we understand the lifting, we understand the drawback. Okay. And then as we add more and more, the form should enhance and really show in your style. Yeah. Okay. So techniques are a nice, I should say, gift. It enhances yourself with your form. So it doesn't matter what you're practicing. Hopefully, this really helps being aware and for me, I appreciate the sword in a way, in that sense, because of the it expresses itself. Yeah, that's how I you feel the movement and you learn more and more. I do feel like the sword takes. You can learn the sword, you can learn the form. Some forms are a lot easier, but as to master the sword, this feels it lets you keep learning. Yeah, you still can reach levels and go, and then maybe you master the your sword that works for you. Yeah, some of you might have a lot of different. There's a lot of different swords, so you get comfortable to the sword you're using, so you can be master of your sword because you understand its weight and everything too. Yeah, you can apply it to a lot of different things, but each goal is like you're getting familiar with your sword, familiar with sword techniques, then you master it. You can master that, right? Master your basics, master your foundation. Okay? Then it grows from there. Then you can master your form. Okay. Um, Even within, you can say master, but there's a lot of levels in mastery too. Yeah. But first thing first, just enjoy yourself. Take the techniques, absorb it in. Okay. Once it becomes part of you, it gets easier. And once you can really, one of these techniques can really grab your attention, and then that's you master that feeling, yeah. And then once you master that feeling, you can apply that to the different techniques, because you're going to use that technique as your base to help you understand everything else. So today we focus on the drawback. If I understand the drawback and then I start learning new techniques, or even the, so like I never learned this before in a slide, okay? But I understand the drawback. So then now I'm gonna do zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay. So everything looks different. Yeah. It's still you drawing back. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. I might then you might learn the cover. Okay. Remember the cover? So it's covering over it. But then I understand the drawback. So I cover and I draw. Yeah. See that zoom and the drawback. Boom. Okay. As we learned at the beginning, you might see that drawback and we see big movement because we're feeling the technique. As you get more used to it, then it can be real subtle. Okay. Okay. So I have to even I have to remember to share it, because I might not even think about it because of the subtleness. I'm like, ah, okay. This has a lot of things going on without me thinking about it, right? I have the turning the wrist, I have the cover, and I have the drawback. So, okay. So hopefully that really, really helps. Okay. And one more thing to point out too. If this does feel slow, you can let me know too. But thing is, when you really take your time with a technique, it will speed your process really, really fast, actually, because you got that foundation, and that one technique really enhances everything else, and you start rolling and you start flowing. So taking that time and moment to even even if you learn just this or the drawback, and you say you practice every day. I'm just using an example. And what I mean by practicing too, it's not just like I'm doing the technique and la, 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 and I'm looking around and not doing nothing, right? Take the time in the moment and feel it. Yeah? This can make a huge difference. Okay. If I take 5 minutes, okay, and I practice that 5 minutes, okay, and I'll even bring down short, but depends on the focus. Say like 1 minute, and somebody practice like this and doesn't work. But in that 1 minute, you so focus in it. Okay, I say 5 minutes if you can. You can always add more, but the thing is, once you distracted and you're not doing it, then you're not doing the form or the technique. So say like 5 minutes, you really focus. Like really breathe and focus the drawback. Okay. The technique can really enhance, and it's like you're training to somebody else who may take them years, but you can really shorten that out. Okay. It's not a shortcut. It's just focus and intention that that excels your training. Okay. If you're not focused on what you're doing, then it's not gonna help. Okay. If I really get into it and I feel happy about it and I feel good and I'm training, then shoo, you're gonna speed up real quick, way more than you realize. Okay. And if so happen you don't have this sort to practice, it's a pure training too. Okay. So you add in your mind and your heart. What I mean by heart is you're feeling it. Okay. Those two things will enhance any training in your practice. Okay, because you're putting that behind the technique. Okay. If I just go and I just doing it, not the same. If I do it and I feel the technique, the chi will come out different. Yeah. The 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 outcome changes. Okay. If I go like this and I like think of something and look somewhere else, not going not gonna come out the same. Yeah. Okay. But really feeling the movement really change. Yeah. Okay. So the two main things we focus on was the drawback and make sure adding the stance. So we did forward, okay, and you can go down and out, down and out and reverse, okay, and then make sure to switch it over. So left leg and right leg leads, yeah. So same thing, forward and back, forward and back, okay? And then we did a circle, boom, boom, and then reverse, boom, boom. Okay. So the main key, if you can take the drawback back and forth, back and forth, okay, because the drawback means it pulls, okay, and you can make it smaller or from the big techniques and small techniques. Okay, inhale and then center, inhale out, bring it in, center yourself. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, taking the time on your Sunday. Hope this really helps and gives you some value in learning the sword as we explore more with your techniques and everything. Thank you. Take care. Thanks, Nanette. And take care. Good to see you. And everyone else, again, thank you so much. So take care. Aloha. And again, let me know. Don't be shy to type or leave any comments. I'll see you next time for Sunday Sword. Same time, same channel. Okay, take care.